Never know, do you? You just never know.
Oh, I know. My eyes, I was not looking through the tequila lens last night. It was only water. I was watching very, very close. Jeff says, what do you say? Skee looks better today. UCapper says, probably didn't have 20 tequilas last night, Jeffrey. There you go. Bingo. You get it. All right. Let's get to it. We have two games today. Man, ironically, I was in a better mood yesterday than today, even though I was hungover. But let's get to it. Fever and Connecticut. It opened minus 14.5 for the Fever. It's as high as 16. Total open 164.5. It looks like 166.5. I don't think anybody's on the injury report here. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Mabry's been out for a while, but we already know she's not going to be playing. So outside of her, it looks like both teams are healthy. And Veno, it was a little bit of drama last time these teams saw each other. I can't even call it a little bit. There was a few scuffles, fights, whatever you want to say. Um, we know JC Sheldon and Caitlin Clark don't like each other. Sophie came in there trying to be an enforcer, right? It was a lot going on in that game. Sun, I believe, were an 18-point favorite. I'm sorry, 18-point underdog. They covered by 1 point. Fever won by 17. And that time was in Indiana. Now they'll face each other again, this time in Connecticut. And a little bit shorter spread. And I'll mention, we can't ignore all year long Caitlin Clark money at home, disaster on the road. I'm curious if we see that here tonight. And I do think, especially after how that last game went and how she was talking to people, they make it a point to, try to shut her down today. And also, I think the Sun have been playing better. They've been in a better rhythm now than the last time these two teams met. At that point, they were just getting blown out by 20 plus every night, it felt like. So this feels like it'll be a pretty good game to watch. I'll have my popcorn out, seeing what action we get this time. How are you seeing this game going, Vino?
Yeah, I think Indiana will win simply because, obviously that's not going out on a limb or 16-point favorite, but simply because I talked yesterday about the standings closing in on the All-Star game, and the Indiana team is tied with Washington. A win here by Indiana, a potential loss by Washington in the late game would give them sole possession of sixth place. I think these games are important to them. For Connecticut, it is a little bit of a rebuilding process here. They're trying to get things right. Bria Hartley's been pretty good as of late, coming on a little bit next to JC Sheldon as one of the starting guards. What I noticed here, Skee, is I didn't want to lay 16 points and shouldn't be afraid of the full game total. I really shouldn't. But I tried to go back and see what Connecticut has done in the first half, because it seemed to me that Connecticut's been giving up just a ton of points to everybody. First halves this year, they've given up 40 or more in 11 of 15. But even tightening it up less than that, even though they've been playing well the last three games, they've given up 49 and 47 in two of the last three first halves. 43, 50, 52, 40, 59, 42, 47. Seven of the last eight, they've given up 40 or more. So potentially Indiana as a first half team total play, but then you look at the team total and you see 46, and it kind of scares you off. So I think the odds maker has done a good job of keeping me off of Indiana, probably keeping me off of first half total. The only thing I'm left with here is either taking the points with Connecticut, which, like you say, the last three games, two of which were against Seattle, played well in both Seattle games, and then against LA, which we know doesn't play any defense, Connecticut played well. I'm always scared that Connecticut will go into a scoring drought. And last time they played, not only was there a little bit of a scuffle, but the Fever did win by 17. You kind of cited the differences between Fever home play, specifically Caitlin Clark, and road play. I think if I was to look here, Skee, I would probably either be on full game over, thinking that Connecticut, we're still not kind of sold on the Indiana defense. But even if they shut Caitlin Clark down and keep her quiet, there's so many scoring options for Indiana right now. I don't think they're going to be kept quiet on the scoreboard here. So maybe full game over, and maybe if you're looking slight lean to Connecticut, but I didn't play the game, and I don't think that I will be playing this game.
First half, I mean, I see the total at three different numbers. I'm trying to log in just to verify. Side screen could be a little bit off. You never know. But let's see here. Half. Okay, yes, the Caesars number was off a tad. But 84 and a half, 85 is what we're looking at there. I mean, it seems like it's a little bit shaded towards the first half. I can see points early. And also, if you like the over, it could be one you want to get in and get out because, like, who mentioned it? Somebody else mentioned it here. Let me try to go find it. Yeah, Fever are also on the front end of a back-to-back. They play New York Liberty tomorrow. So, they're going to save some energy for that game. That's a high-profile game. This comment right here, starters could rest them in the fourth if the Fever are up. We could see this game go a lot of different ways, but the first half, we're not seeing nobody resting. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. First half total, 84 and a half, does seem appealing. UCapper says he likes the over as well. B-Man says likes the over. Sun worst defense in WNBA history, says. And UCapper says they're not wasting energy on defense today. And that makes sense. That makes sense right there. I think we did this one pretty good. I don't think the Fever care too much about this game. Like, they won the last game, all that scuffle stuff. I think it's the Sun who care more. So Sun or over, I think are Sun or first half over, I think are good bets here. Justin likes those Sun. All right, next game, Mystics and Sparks opened up -2 for LA. Looks like -1. I mean, this line has been all over the place. It's gone from, it went to Washington as the favorite. Now we're back with the Sparks as the favorite. Total open 163.5. Seeing it as high as 166. And you do have the Mystics coming off of a nice win against the Storm, right? If I'm thinking correctly. And the Sparks, they did barely squeak past the Connecticut Sun. Sparks have not been playing the best basketball all season or lately, however you want to look at it. And their defense has been extremely untrustworthy. The Mystics, they've been pretty solid defensively. They've been kind of iffy sometimes. Like, for a stretch, they'll look great. And another stretch is like, what are they doing? But I think the Mystics have looked a lot better than the Sparks this year. And that's a team that I can trust more to get a stop. So that makes me want to look towards the Mystics here. Total-wise, I'm not really in the market of betting Sparks game under. It's a lot more things I'd rather do. If I bet a Sparks game under, I better be prepared to, have a few tequilas coming my way by halftime. So over or Mystics, Veno, how are you seeing this one?
Well, I did get involved in this one, Skee, and there's no sense. We used to say often on the Wager Talk NBA show, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there's no reason to not bet an LA Sparks over, as long as they're going to keep listing them in this particular price range. And I know we get it in this price range, and it's been bumped up to this 165 that we see. I think it opened 163.5, but it opens that way based on Washington and the fact that they're methodical, not a fast tempo team. Well, actually, they are number 5 in tempo in the league, if you check it out, but they don't appear to be a fast tempo team, and they're a low scoring team, more defense oriented. So I had to dig a little bit. I think if you're Washington, and this is the first time these two teams have met all season long, if you're Washington, you like looking across the floor and seeing that LA defense. The Sparks are 12th out of 13 teams in the league in defensive rating and field goal percentage allowed and paint field goal percentage and points per game allowed. They're allowing 87.2 per game. I could go on and on. That's just 4 of the categories where they stink on defense. They've given up 82 plus in 17 of their last 20 games. Doesn't really matter who they're playing. So the 87.2 isn't skewed. It's not like they gave up 120 one night and 70 the next. The Sparks consistently give up points. They're 15-4. Their games are 15-4 over the total that's posted tonight in their last 19 games. That's a big number. And if you look at Washington, 5 of the 6 games that Washington has gotten to play a team with a lousy defense, by lousy defense, I mean they rank 10th or worse in defensive rating. When Washington has played those types of defenses, they've scored 79. In that game, they didn't have Brittany Sykes, 81, 90, 91, and 104. So Washington's offense is kind of a bully type offense. If you can't play any D, they're going to score on you. It's the rest of the league they don't score that high against. If you want to say that they play too slow of a tempo to get this game over, I would say this. The Sparks against the 4 slowest tempo teams in the NBA, when they've had an opportunity to play one of those 4 teams, they've given up 82 plus in 7 of the 8 games, an average of 86. It doesn't matter how slow you play, you're going to score against this team. One of those games, actually the only one that didn't make it to 82 plus, Skee, was the very first game of the year. It was Golden State's first game as a WNBA team. I think Golden State only scored 67 that night. But the Sparks give it up against slow teams, non-scoring teams. Doesn't matter. Meanwhile, they score on just about everybody. Washington is tied for 6th, I think, in defensive points per game allowed. Sparks against the top 5 defenses, they've had 11 chances this year against a top 5 defense, and they've scored between 78 and 86 in 7 of those. So I think both sides score here, Skee. There's a couple of interesting matchups. One being, if you like free throws, this could be your game. These teams are number 1 and number 2 in free throw rate in the WNBA. Kelsey Plum's an artist at getting to the line for LA. Neither team's good defending in the paint. Washington's 11th, LA's 12th. I just don't see why this game doesn't make it to 170. So I played this one over the 165. Those who got in real early at 63.5. Congratulations. That was a better number.
Yeah. I'm looking at the chat and listening to you and looking at some of this stuff. You can see this, right, Veno?
Show it to me.
Is it not screen sharing there? No, it's not. Okay. See, that's good. I asked this time. There we go. Now you can see this. Sparks UCapper says, he says, Sparks don't cover at home for some reason. Maybe because they don't play no defense.
Good reason.
Opponent team total is 9-1 to the over at home for the Sparks. They don't get any stops. That's what I was saying, like why I would lean towards the Mystics, because one team I can trust to get a stop when we need it. The other team, it's in God's hands. If you need a stop at the end of the game, you better off just praying. So that's how I see it. I didn't really talk too much about props, but I did consider. I mean, Mystics, and I was trying to think about the reason why, but Mystics don't give up that many rebounds. I mean, I know they have Shakira Austin. Maybe it's, I mean, they don't give up that many rebounds. The only player in the last 6 games to have more than 7 rebounds is Angel Reese. And we all know that's an anomaly, you know. So as a Ray, she's the second leading rebounder this season. Her rebounding prop is 7.5. That's less than what she averages on the season. And also, De'Erica Hamby's is 7.5. She hasn't been hitting that at all. I think she's hit it 2 of her last 9 games. Mystics don't give up that many. I'm just trying to think of what's the exact reasoning. And I wanted to say maybe because it's less possessions in Mystics games. But, I mean, when I look at pace numbers recently, they're middle of the pack. So I couldn't really, you know, like I had a lot of good reasoning for Courtney Williams yesterday, along with some numbers, you know. Today, I have the numbers, but I'm still trying to figure out the reasoning. But I would think both of them, or De'Erica Hamby probably more than Azare, will go under the rebound prop of 7.5. I know you don't do too much props, you know. Oh, my bad. Let me get this out of there. I know you don't do too many props, but anything stand out to you as far as that, or what do you think about the rebounds?
Yeah, I mean, on the LA side, it would be hard to bet props just because offensively they have a starting unit that it could be anybody on any night, right? Could be Jackson, it could be Plum, it could be anybody on that starting unit. So I'd be hard pressed to make a call there. I'm thinking of, I don't know if they even list Ari McDonald's assists, even though she's coming off the bench. It would probably be a low total. I don't think I could think of anything there. And for the Washington front line, to tell you the truth, Skee, the two rookies at forward have been pretty good. I know Kiki Arifan's been pretty good on the boards as well. So I don't know. It looks like everything could be split up here between these two. There's really no standout unless Brittany Sykes goes off, which she can. So I guess, like you said earlier, I'm not big in the prop market. I don't have any real suggestions here.
Brittany Sykes could go off too. I mean, she was already
Mm-hmm.
snubbed for an All-Star. Then Ryan got hurt, and she snubbed again. They put Kayla McBride in there. I don't know, man. I feel like she might have a little something to prove. More I think about that, so that she could be a look there. I think we did pretty good job here. What are they saying here in the chat? There was a question. City by the Bay, Skee, how you feel about Chat GPT / Grok for sports handicapping? I've never used Grok for anything. I'm not even, I mean, I see it pop up on Twitter, but I don't even know what that is for real. Chat GPT. I mean, I wouldn't trust using a computer to do all of your handicapping at all in general for anything. But I mean, I think maybe Chat GPT can be useful for editing. Like how, I don't know, but don't use it just to find a pick for you. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like maybe it can help you with other stuff. Titan CT says to help him with his Medicare paperwork. So maybe it's useful, but don't rely on it just to pick sports bets for you. All right.
Medicare paperwork.
Do you know what Grok is? You know?
Never used it. And I've had this conversation with friends of mine. I won't use it, Skee, because I just don't think there's any human element in Chat GPT. And we all know, if you've been around long enough, betting long enough, that some of this is gut feel that you just can't put into a computer and have it spit out. Well, this is the way, like you said, you watched the first 5 minutes of that game last night, right? And you knew Golden State wasn't going to get any calls. Yep. Chat GPT doesn't have that feeling. You know what I mean? So I can't, I have to use, it's such an inexact science. I don't know that I could use it. It's probably good, like you say, for editing and for getting some quicker statistical numbers. If you have to take time to look up statistics, I'm sure it's helpful there.
Jeff says that's like asking Skee a question about a game after 15 tequilas. Don't do it. I appreciate you, UCAP, reminding me. Go ahead and put this up there. The ticker, forgot about that. And yeah, I mean, it is about that time. Maybe I go ahead and throw this up there. It is $5 Tuesday. You can go on any cappers page and they should have a top play up for just $5 today. You can see if you maybe like what they have going, what they're talking about, their write up, whatever the case may be. It's a good chance to check some people out. So that's what I'll leave. I'll leave Ronald alone with that other pick for today. I'll stall him out on that one today. Veno, I'm going to pass it back to you. I'll ask you if there's anything else you would like to promote. And if you have a best bet for the show, feel free to share. And if you don't, it's all good.
Real quick, Skee, I'll say that I did make the photo shoot in that picture when I looked. So I wasn't good enough to make the other photo shoot, but I got in that one. Yeah, I think you covered it. $5 Tuesday is a big day for all handicappers over at Wager Talk. We all put a $5 play up. You can get mine or Skee's by hopping over there and just getting the wagertalk.com play selections and get the $5 play. I want to go back with best bets to what I just talked about with LA and Washington. I don't know that I was trying to look it up this morning because I try and keep pretty thorough records of what I bet and what I released to clients. And I don't believe that there's been a more profitable bet for me this year in the WNBA than Sparks games over. Seems like every time I bet one, I win. And so I'm back there again here. Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Washington's going to have they'll have a pretty good opportunity to score a bunch of points here. LA will score back. I think one thing I missed, Skee, earlier is that I was pretty impressed by Washington making a cross-country trip from home to Seattle, getting buried in the third quarter because Seattle came back and played a really good third quarter. I think they were +8 going into the fourth. And then Washington storming back and winning that game by 5, almost going away. So that was pretty impressive out of the Mystics. So if you're looking side, I know you did mention perhaps Mystics are a good side here. But I'm going to stick to the total and play it up and over 165 is the best bet.
Good stuff, Vino. And for myself, I mean, I had a gym yesterday I shared with you guys. I don't have one to share with you today. I do have a play up for $5 Tuesday, but I can't give that out as the best bet here on the show. So, yeah, just I'll rock with Vino. I like what he's talking about on that over. I think that is a solid bet. Vino, like I always say, appreciate you taking the time to break the games down with me. Helps out my process. I'm sure it helps out everybody else as well. And I just have a good time talking the games out with you. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you too, sharing information. And, we just appreciate the good vibes from everybody out there. Everybody watching elsewhere, Twitch, X, Kick, Apple, Spotify. Appreciate you all as well. A lot more games to talk about tomorrow. Actually, two of them would have gone off by the time we come on. They're very, very early games. So make sure you get up and are aware. But we still will have three more to talk about